Brain freeze. You gobble up a big spoonful of ice cream, and a split second later, you feel a stabbing pain in your forehead. A brain freeze. Or sphenopalatine ganglioneuralgia if you want to sound fancy. It happens when something cold touches the roof of your mouth. It cools the blood vessels, which then rapidly constrict and dilate. This sudden shift fools the brain into thinking the pain is coming from your forehead and not your mouth. It's a communication mix-up, with your body mistaking mouth pain for head pain. Luckily, this glitch only lasts a few minutes before your system resets. Eye twitching. You're talking to someone and suddenly your eyelid starts doing its own little dance. This annoying little glitch is called myokymia. It's not serious, it's just your eye muscle spasming because you're tired, stressed, or maybe even over-caffeinated. This muscle isn't in pain, but your body is simply glitching out in protest to being overworked. It usually goes away on its own, but it's a real-life example of how stress can literally show on your face. Motion sickness. You're in the car scrolling through your phone, and suddenly you feel like your insides want to come out. Motion sickness is your brain's response to conflicting sensory information. The inner ear tells you, we're moving, but your eyes only see the phone in your hand, thinking that you are standing still. Your brain can't figure out what's happening, panics, and flips the nausea switch. Dizziness, sweating, vomiting, all defenses against a threat that doesn't exist. It's not a failure of any one part, it's a group miscommunication, ultimately resulting in a high cleaning bill. Hiccups. You're in class, everyone is quiet and focused on the exam in front of them, when suddenly your chest jolts and a loud hic bursts out. A hiccup is a spasm of the diaphragm, the muscles beneath your lungs, combined with an abrupt closing of the vocal cords, which creates that hic sound. It can occur from eating too quickly, carbonated drinks, a sudden temperature change, or sometimes without any reason whatsoever. Here's a life hack. Next time when you have hiccups, try convincing yourself that hiccups aren't even real and see how that goes. Skin crawling. You're lying in your bed and you feel a bug going up your arm, but when you look, there's nothing there. That's called formication. It's usually a nerve signal misinterpretation, often tied to anxiety or extreme tiredness. Your brain gets a jumbled up message from the skin and tries to make sense of it, so it interprets it as a bug crawling on you. It's not harmful, but it feels very strange. It's just your sensory system making stuff up again. Goosebumps. A chill breeze passes you, and your skin instantly breaks out in tiny bumps. Goosebumps happen when tiny muscles at the base of each hair contract. This slightly pulls the skin and makes your hair stand up. But what's the point of it? Well, it's an evolutionary reflex used to trap air to keep us warm or to look bigger when threatened. Your brain sends the signal, and those little muscles respond immediately. But you don't control it. That's what makes it a glitch. Your body does it automatically in situations where it's not really needed. Sneezing fits. Ever had a burst of sneezes without any apparent reason? This could be your trigeminal nerve acting up. That's the nerve that controls feeling in your face and can be set off by things like sudden bright light, cold air, or even strong emotions. So your sneeze reflex can fire off even when there's no real reason to sneeze. It's a misfire. Your body gets signals, reacts too strongly, and throws you into a sneeze fest. A clear example of how the reflex system can act on bad intel. Shivering. It's a cold winter day, you step outside, and immediately your body begins to tremble. These rapid, tiny muscle movements are designed to generate heat when your core temperature drops. But here's the strange part. Shivering doesn't only happen when you're cold. It can kick in when you're anxious, scared, or overwhelmed. That's because your nervous system doesn't only react to temperature, it reacts to stress too. It's like your system gets a little confused, flipping the shiver switch just in case. Paresthesia. You've been sitting cross-legged too long, and suddenly your leg falls asleep. First you're numb, then a rush of pins and needles spreads. This is paresthesia. It happens when you put pressure on the nerve, which cuts off signals or blood flow, but when pressure is released, the signals rush back all at once. You feel those little tingles because nerve endings are trying to reconnect with your leg and bring it back online. But while your nervous system is rebooting, it may feel like your leg is on max difficulty setting. Teeth chattering. You're cold, and your teeth start to rattle like you're in a cartoon. That shaking is your jaw muscles contracting quickly to create warmth, just like with shivering. but with extra drama. Chattering doesn't only happen when it's cold, it can also show up when you're nervous or scared. Your sympathetic nervous system treats stress and fear like danger, even if it's emotional and not physical. So it reacts the same exact way. Your body doesn't always know the difference between I'm freezing and I'm about to give a speech, so it just glitches out and goes with the same default response. Ear popping. You're on a plane and suddenly your ears do that little pop thing. That's your eustachian tubes opening to balance the pressure between your middle ear and the outside environment. It's like a little valve in your head that opens when it senses that the pressure isn't equal. If the tubes don't adjust quickly enough, or if they overcompensate, you can get repeated or delayed popping. It's a pressure control issue, your body trying to equalize things, but sometimes they mess up the timing. Snatiation reflex. You finish a big meal, lean back, and suddenly you're hit with multiple sneezes without warning. This is the snatiation reflex, or a stomach sneeze. It's a weird sneeze reflex triggered by a full stomach. This sneezing fit might be related to your vagus nerve, which runs between your brain and your gut, and sometimes, when your stomach stretches, it might set off the sneeze reflex by accident. It's rare, but harmless. Just one of those weird crossovers in your wiring. Jaw clicking. You wake up, you yawn, and your jaw clicks like a loose hinge. This is the temporomandibular joint, or TMJ for short, glitching out. It's the connection between your jaw and your skull, and if the disc inside slips or gets irritated, you get the snap. For some people, it's completely harmless. For others, it can be really painful. But after a few minutes, the system realigns itself and you go back to normal chewing and talking. Eye floaters. Ever notice those little squiggles drifting across your vision, especially when you look at a bright sky? Those are eye floaters, tiny bits of collagen floating in the vitreous gel inside your eye. As light passes through, they cast small shadows on your retina, which makes it seem like there's something in your eye. They move when your eyes move, so it's hard to focus on them directly. While they can be annoying, they're usually completely harmless, kind of like having a few dead pixels on your screen. Elevator stomach drop. The elevator moves a floor down and you feel a sinking weight in your gut. That's your organs reacting to motion. Your body moves fast, but your internal organs lag for just a second. In that moment, you and the elevator are in complete free fall, but a moment later, your brain picks up on this delay and sends out a quick alert signaling that everything is fine. It's like your insides forgot to press W with the rest of you. Charley horse. You just finished your monthly 1-mile run, but just as you start to feel proud of yourself, you feel a dull pain in your calf. It's like someone is twisting your leg with an invisible wrench. That's a Charley horse, a sudden, random muscle cramp that feels like your leg is trying to rage quit. It often strikes when a muscle is overworked or when you're missing electrolytes. The muscle fires and then forgets how to stop. All you can really do is stretch it and wait until the muscle tires out and releases its clench. Tinnitus. In a completely quiet room, you suddenly hear a buzzing or a ringing that no one else can hear. Tinnitus is a phantom sound with no external source. It's often caused by exposure to loud noise or aging. But the sound doesn't come from the outside, it's created by your own brain. When your hearing system isn't getting the usual input, your brain can fill the silence in with its own noise. It's like your mind doesn't like the quiet and decides to play its own sound instead. This glitch is completely harmless, but it can be hard for you to ignore. Photic sneeze reflex. You walk out into bright sunlight and immediately sneeze like you just inhaled pepper. That's the photic sneeze reflex. About 1 in 4 people have it. Your optic nerve gets hit with bright lights and the signal crosses wires with your trigeminal nerve, the one responsible for sneezing. Basically, it's a misclick between your look at the sun and fire sneeze functions. Nothing's broken, just classic nervous system overlap. Fasciculations. A tiny muscle in your arm or leg starts twitching, seemingly on its own. That's a fasciculation. Your muscle fibers are contracting independently without your permission, often from fatigue, dehydration, or stress. They're harmless, but weird, like your muscles are pressing random keys while you're AFK. So, how many of these glitches have you experienced? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, you'll probably also like this one. Thanks for watching.